The US and India are engaged in a bitter trade war. That's a tariff war. The US has slapped 50% tariff on India, alleging that India is importing crude oil from Russia. But India is unwilling to change their position on crude oil imports from Russia. In that situation, all on a sudden, one of the leading corporates in the US, that is the Google, one of the biggest companies in the world on the digital run, announced that they are going to make a huge investment of around 15 billion US dollar in developing an AI hub in the South Indian state of Andhra Pradesh. That sounds surprising. What has happened in between? All on a sudden, has there been a truce in the trade war? The answer is not known. But to find the answer, you have to, you know, read the statement of Google CEO on the investment with another statement of US Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent. Scott Bessent the other day said the US needs the help of India in facing China's ban on rare earth exports. So now you get a broad idea of what is happening. Actually, there are deeper issues. The US has been engaged in a war on artificial intelligence front with China for several years. Now the US desperately wants the help of India on that front also. There are not many options. So this is a well thought out decision. That is Google investing 15 billion US dollar in India to develop an AI hub. So this is part of a strategy to counter Chinese moves. China is far ahead of US on many fronts, believe it or not. I'm not exaggerating. This is the truth. You may not be feeling that now, but I'm sure that in the next 5 years, the world is going to realize the huge, disparity or difference between China and other countries on AI front. That is why US has decided to invest in India. Now let's analyze the whole issue and find the real reasons of a change of mind of the United States. Welcome to Insights. I am Hari Kumar. As I said in the beginning, Sundar Pichai, head of Google, the other day he arrived in India and he met Prime Minister Narendra Modi also. Afterwards, he made the announcement about opening an AI hub in Andhra Pradesh. That is going to cost 15 billion US dollars. The Google is going to invest this much money in just 5 years. So from 2026 till 2030. By 2030, the Google AI hub is going to be fully functional. The Google has sought the help of Indian corporates Adani Group and Airtel in building the infrastructure. Perhaps Airtel is going to give them connectivity. At the AI hub, there will be a huge data center which could handle several gigabytes of data. Then there is going to be a very good connectivity there, network is there, and there is going to be clean energy there. So this AI hub is going to use only clean energy. So on many fronts, they have already decided partners also. They are pretty serious about the whole thing. So why all of a sudden India was chosen for this investment? Actually, this AI hub or this much investment is the biggest investment of the Google outside United States. So why did they choose India for that, and why they decided to open an AI hub in India? Let's go to that. For understanding that, you have to realize a decision of Chinese Communist Party in 2016. Chinese Communist Party decided to entrust development or fully focus on development of artificial intelligence in 2016. They devised or they drafted a 5 year plan for that. That was later extended. In the initial 5 year plan, 12 to 14 sectors of artificial intelligence were separately entrusted to big Chinese corporates. They were asked to develop or do research work on certain areas. For example, face recognition technology, speech recognition technology, then software development, hardware development. One company each was entrusted with those sectors. And that was a great beginning for China. That gave them an upper hand. Now, it was by 2022 that the US realized that they are lagging behind. Now, from then onwards, actually, US started imposing ban on, export of software and, semiconductor chips to China that were used in developing artificial intelligence. But that was a bit late. So US has realized that. Then why choose India as the destination for developing an AI hub? The reason is India has got the largest talent pool when it comes to artificial intelligence. Even in early 2020s, that is 2021 or 22, India had 6 lakhs, 600,000 professionals on the artificial intelligence front. And their number is expected to, zoom to around 1.25 million by 2027. So you have got enough talent pool. That's the important reason. That's why the US decided to invest in India. That's why Google chose to open an AI hub in Andhra Pradesh. When it comes to another aspect, that is the artificial intelligence skill penetration, India has the highest AI skill penetration in the whole world. This was found by Stanford University after a research. They prepared an index which is called Stanford AI Index, and they placed India on the top. This means the penetration of artificial intelligence means use of artificial intelligence in certain sectors. For example, if you are doing some agriculture, you are doing some other food industry, service industry, how much artificial intelligence are you using in that sector? So this is the skill penetration, and in India that is the highest. You may be surprised, even Indians could possibly be surprised, they are leading on that front. And this is another reason why Google chose this destination. Now you got the answer to that. Now the Google is now aiming to make India lead the next wave of artificial intelligence revolution. In the artificial intelligence hub, they are going to, training centers are going to be there, AI development will be there, and so many relative activities are going to take place in the AI hub there. So this is the situation. That is why the US decided to zero in on Andhra Pradesh, not because of any other issues, because the US is fighting a war with China on AI front, and China has marched ahead on many fronts. For example, in agriculture, in food stuff manufacturing, or even in military affairs. The borders are very thin when it comes to use of artificial intelligence. The US has realized it, and now they want to close the gap. That's why, despite the difference with India on trade front, US companies are investing in India. That makes another thing very clear. The US cannot face China without the help of India. The US knows that very well. But they are flexing their muscles just to bring India in their line. It's a mind game. The US is playing a mind game whether how much they could pressurize India. They need India desperately. Without India, they are not going to reach anywhere in their bitter battle against China. China is already far ahead. You know, the other day, China announced a Star Wars like missile defense system. By 2030, you are going to face a very different world. By that time, US knows very well that they could be a laggard when compared to China. So they cannot afford to be an enemy of India anymore. Donald Trump also knows that very well, but he's trying to extract his pound of flesh from India. If he is trying to find whether India is going to yield. But anyway, his options are limited. I mean, this is the Hobson's choice, India and India. Meet you with updates. Till then, goodbye.